Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of In Touch. I'm so glad to be here, and I hope that you are doing great. Today is Wednesday, so we'll try to make it Wednesday special. Okay, whoever named Wednesday special a very very special day, well, definitely had their own reasons. Now, today I'm hosting a different. Men from different walks of lives. Now, my first guest has got a very, very interesting story to share with us pertaining to where he is coming from to where he is today. It's a story that he's shared before on air, that is the radio side, but I thought this story is also inspiring in as far as somebody learning one or two things from him is concerned. Mr. Griffin is my first guest on the show today. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And welcome to the show today.
Thanks very much.
I'm so glad to have you.
Thanks very much.
Otherwise, how have you been?
I've been fine. I've been okay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously, the first thing that people who are watching us today would be interested to know is you personally. Who is Mr. Griffin?
Okay, Mr. Griffin. I'm Griffin Kafunda. I was born in 1977 in Mekatembo, that is Miombe. I did my primary school at Mekatembo, Mekatembo Basic. Then from there, I moved to Mporokoso, where I wanted to go and join my brother. Yes, he was a teacher there. Unfortunately, he's late now. May his soul rest in peace. When I went there, that was in 1997. When I went there, I just stayed with my brother for 1 week. I don't know what happened. He just said, "No, I don't want you in my house."
Serious?
Yes. So
Your blood brother?
my blood brother. Yes. And he's second in the family. Me, I'm number 5.
Wow.
Yes. So I tried to hesitate to stay in his house, but unfortunately he didn't. He was not ready to keep me, so to say. So I moved in. I went to someone, one of the neighbors. That's where I tried to explain my situation. They welcomed me there. I had to stay there. I even stopped school there. I stopped in grade 8. So as I was at home at that neighbor, I was busy studying anyway, because I had some inspiration from my former head, Mr. Msmuko. So as I was studying and trying, hoping that one day I'll go back to school.
Okay.
Yes. So I stayed there. Fortunately, they opened that Mange refugee camp. So I joined that Mange refugee camp. I started working there. I did some pieceworks. Then I had to go back to school. I just went straight into grade 9. I didn't do grade 8, a full grade 8, no. I just went into grade 9. And the way God is, I performed well. I did well. And I was picked to go to Mungwe Technical. So I didn't go there because of the funds. I didn't have money. So I had to go back to Mange refugee camp, where I continued working and raising some funds to go back again to school. So there is this head, Mr. Lupupa, the head at Mporokoso Secondary, the former head now. So that man was going through the records and found that my name there and the marks that I got. So he started finding out, because my brother was a teacher. He called my brother, then my brother...
The one who had refused to keep you?
Yes.
Okay.
So he called my brother. He had an interview with him. He talked to him. Then he said, "No, this person, I don't know where he is by this time." So as they were trying to search for me, they found me for Mange refugee camp. So the head said, they sent Mr. Rupupa and the inspector, by then Mr. Chiku, they said, "No, we are getting this person. He will not be paying." So that's how I was taken to school, Mporokoso Secondary School. Did my secondary school at Mporokoso. and I completed in 2001. So after completion, I had to go back to the village, Megatembo.
Mm-hmm.
So when the results came out, I found that I performed well. So I even received an acceptance letter from University of Zambia. So that letter came direct to Mr. Lupupa in Porokoso. Then that they called. By then there were no phones, by the way, so they were just using radio. Is it radiograms?
Telegrams.
Telegrams.
Exactly.
Yes. So they called Rekatembo Clinic. Now there's this person who we are looking for. This person did this and this. So we want him here. So the head, Mr. Msimuko at Mrekatembo, provided me with transport. He gave me transport. I had to travel back to Morogoso. I got my acceptance, then came this side. Of course, with some letters written by the headman that, okay, now at UNZA, you can go and have your education there, hoping that it will be again like Morogoso where I did not, I didn't pay anything. So, from there, I came to Lusaka. That's where I had a very big challenge.
Okay.
Yes, that was in 2002.
What are some of the challenges that you encountered at the time that you came to Lusaka?
When I came to Lusaka, I went direct to UNZA. I have relatives in Lusaka, but now I didn't know where they were staying.
Okay.
So I had to go straight to UNZA. I went there, presented my situation, but now what they said, they just said, no, us here, we don't sponsor people. It is the bursaries committee that sponsors people. So you have to go to bursaries committee. So I had to go to bursaries committee. Then they said, no, here you have to apply. They have all those logistics. You know. So I did that. Now I didn't have where to go. So from there, I was spending my nights at Intercity Bus Terminus. I stayed there for a week. I didn't see anything, so all what I had finished. So now I didn't have any alternative, only to be in the streets.
How much money did you come with the time you were coming from the village to Lusaka to come and process your staff at the University of Zambia?
The only money that I had by that time, it was the 200,000 kwacha.
Okay.
Yes, that is non-rebate. Yes. The tickets, they were just buying for me. They bought for me the ticket to come this side, just like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I had 200,000 kwacha. That's the one that I had in my pocket. So I used that when I was at Intercity Bus Terminus.
At Intercity Bus Terminus, where were you sleeping?
Just in the corridors there, just there. I was sleeping, and it was, it was okay because there were so many people. So I could just sleep as if I was waiting for a bus, maybe going somewhere. So it was just okay. I was sleeping there.
Okay.
Same Intercity Bus Terminus, yes.
Wow, interesting. You can continue.
So after spending all that 200,000 kwacha, I didn't have anything to do again. So now I started looking for pieceworks. I said, now, from Intercity, going to look for pieceworks, going round just there, then coming back to sleep at Intercity. But it couldn't work because, being new in Lusaka, it was very difficult. I couldn't even know which direction to go, where. So I just had to be there. But for some few days, after a week, I completely ran out of ideas. That's when now I found myself in the streets.
Did you at some point share your story or your challenges at that particular time with maybe people around Intercity Bus Terminus and of course others that you are meeting in the streets with hope of possibly getting that help?
Yeah, I tried. I could talk to some people. Some people were just encouraging me because I even had the acceptance letter from University of Zambia. So they were saying, no, you will find it. Just try to work hard. Just try to go around. You find. Some even took me to. There is this Dunamis Church.
Exactly.
Yes. I came. They took me there. I tried to present my issue, but nothing would work out. Then I had to come back to this to Intercity.
I'm sure the time that you were coming from the village to
Mhm.
Lusaka, you had a luggage. So now, the time that you were sleeping in the streets, you were sleeping at Intercity Bus Terminus.
Yes.
Where were you leaving the luggage each time that you think of going to look for something? Where will the luggage remain?
Just there at Intercity, you know, they are like the power tools people. These people, they helped me a lot because
Mhm.
I was putting my things there. There's that office inside the power
Oh,
tools.
okay.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
that's where I was keeping my things. And after a week, you know, I had no money, so I started even selling my clothes. Started selling, I sold almost all the clothes. I remained with just those that I had in my that I was wearing. Yes. So
How did you manage to survive that turbulent time that you went through?
It was difficult. It was difficult in that, you know, if you, like I was just buying, I would buy bananas, or just one drink, I take just like that. It was really tough for me. But thank God, anyway, it passed. But it was tough. Just from the little things that I was having, I could buy something to eat.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Now, did you present your case to, did you at some point communicate with people who are trying to help you from the village, let's say the village headmen, during that period when you're going through a hard time, when you had nowhere to sleep, when you had no money, you had nothing to eat and all that?
I was trying, but you know, medium of communication that time it was tough because we didn't have these cell phones. If we had this, at least it was going to be better. But the people I tried very much to communicate, and they even got the information, is my former head, Mr. Porokoso. With him, I had to just write a letter, then gave people we are going to Kasama. Then those people, they posted it that side. At least with him, he got my letter, and he came to understand it after I was even now okay with this. The situation was now okay.
Okay, so now, how did that situation pass?
Okay, so when I was in the street, because after finishing everything, I had to go in the streets. I just joined these people in the streets. I stayed with them. I stayed there for 3 months. And anyway, life just became normal. It was just normal because just in there, you know, we have different people. We even have those we call bosses just there, the street kids. Okay, so we could go beg from this street. In the morning, we could sit down. Okay, we plan. You go this side. You go this side. You go this side. You go this side. Just like that. We had those people who were calling bosses. They are the ones who were trying to divide us. So for me, I was mostly working from Mumbi robots, those where is it Parmalat? Parmalat,
Exactly.
there. That's where I was working from. So one day, it was a Tuesday, I still remember this. One day I asked from someone. Then this person gave me a 20,000 kwacha. And the way I was doing it like this. If I'm given a bit of some more money, I beg, they give me a bit of some more money, I could hide some money. And where I was hiding, just those city market, there are those iron bars around.
Exactly.
I could just select one, dig down there, bury my something there. Okay? So one day I asked that man, he gave me 20,000 kwacha by then. I just got a 5,000 kwacha, contributed to the group. Then the 15,000, I buried it there. Then when I was talking to that man, he got interested. He asked me, why are you begging? You can't go and look for this work. Then I said, it's not my wish that I'm here, but it's just circumstances beyond my control. Then the robots even showed green. He had to pass, parked somewhere there. He called me, Mr. Satorum Westil. Remember this man is my hero. what he did, he called me, he gave me that 20,000 kwacha and gave me the card. After talking to him, I even showed him my papers. That no, me, I have this, but when I came here this side, this is what happened. So now he said, okay, what you do is come to Zambia Breweries, because he was the purchasing and supply manager there. Okay, so he gave me the card and gave me that 20,000 kwacha. He told me to go there on Thursday. It was a Tuesday, then he told me to go there on Thursday. So I was just waiting for that Thursday. Wednesday, I just worked with the mind very much that side. And you know, since I was in the streets for a long time, the attire also changed. Tropical sandals, the torn tropical sandals, what? Okay. So I went on Thursday to Zambia Breweries. When I reached the gate, I think some of these people, they should be told. It's not that everyone who goes to maybe see something goes there with what, I don't know. Because the way they treated me, the security guards, it was bad.
How was
Amco people. I went there, asked, no, I've come to see this person. Now they didn't believe, because the attire that I was in, they could not connect it to that person. They said, no, this person is a very big person, and you can't come to see this person. So they said, no, this person is not here. I said, no, this person works here. I tried to insist. They had to cane me. I went back. I was just going back. Come this way, I going back, just like that. And I even showed them the card. You know, this is the card. I was given this by him. So I said, okay, call him so that you tell him that there's this person outside here. Okay? So they tried. They called. Unfortunately, he also said, no, I don't know such a person.
Wow.
So now it was now tough now. I started still insisting, no, okay, let me go and see him. Then they were refusing. As he was inside there, he started thinking, he remembered that he gave someone a card. So he came out. So when he was coming out, I even saw him, said, no, this is the man. So he said, oh, this is the person, leave him, let him come. So that's how I went with him in the office. When I went with him in the office, just in there, he gave me a vanilla biscuit and a Fanta.
I'm glad you can still remember what you ate.
Yes, I remember. This is what I passed through, so I can't forget. Okay, so I was given those. So I started eating. He went for a meeting. Now, the most funny part that I didn't like is the secretary to him was not in the office. Okay, when we passed there. Okay, so he left me in the office. I remained. I started eating. When the secretary came, only he found me in the office. So when he found me in the office, she screamed.
Wow.
No, there is a stranger in the office. Called the guards. No, there is someone, and even banged the door. I said, ah. So now I started now waiting what would happen. So the guards came and said, no, this person was with the boss. Then she had to call the boss now. No, Mr. Lungu, there's this person. And then he said, no, leave him. It's me who left him there. So that is how now, when he came back from the meeting, he just said, okay. He gave me another 20,000 kwacha, saying, no, you come on Monday, just where I found you. I'll come and pick you. I'll come and be the garden boy at my house. So I thanked him, and that's how I went. On Monday, he came and picked me. He gave me clothes. He was staying just behind UTH there. He gave me the clothes, and I started working there as a garden boy. Then he even said, no, for me, I don't have a lot. I don't have money to take you to the base of Zambia, but what I can just afford is I'll take you somewhere. I didn't know where he was taking me. So one day he just brought an acceptance letter from Mimo Preschool.
Oh, exactly,
yes,
Mimo.
The one that was being run by Madam Mumba. Yes. Said, no, I'll take you to a preschool college. I just thanked him. So he paid everything there. He paid everything. I started even going. So when I was going to MIM, because I was passing somewhere here, I liked very much the way Isaac Mulinda was playing his music. So one day I was even at the village, I was saying that one day I should meet this man. So one day I went to ZNBC, met Isaac Mulinda. So one day he gave me an opportunity to greeting on the phone, on the radio, greeting people. So when I was greeting those people, that's when now my relatives they surfaced. There is this person, there is this person, there is this person. That's how now I came to know some people even started calling. You know, this person, we know him, let him come here. That was after 4 months. So this person, let him come here. That's how now I started now. They talked to my boss, the same Satrungu. I'm calling him now my father. They called him. They came that side. I had my auntie working for OP. I have my auntie working for OP just at the Lobo Road here, these flats.
Wow. So, despite all these challenges that you're going through, in the midst of all these problems that you had, you also had somebody who had a very, very good job living within Lusaka.
Yes, I have. In fact, I have. There are many of them. I have my auntie. She's working for OP. I have my uncle, Dr. Simbaya, is working for is it UNESA? Somewhere there. I have my auntie, she's a teacher. There are many.
Okay.
But they didn't know.
Okay.
They didn't know me. They didn't know that I was living in here. They didn't know that.
I'm so glad that the moment they came to know that, okay, they've got a relative by the name of, Griffin, they had to respond so quickly, because in other instances, possibly they could have even ignored you.
Yes, but I thank them because they came to my, they called me very fast. So when they I started staying with my aunt, in fact, here at the Lubu flats, these OP flats. So as I was staying there, I was even working as a garden boy, just there, I was garden boy just there, gardening. So after finishing my preschool, I finished in 2003. I even now applied, I got a job at Pinewood Preparatory School. It's a school for Mr. Brian Jordan, somewhere in Roma. I worked there. As I was working, I was saving to take me to Unza. I just had that.
Your objective was to go to Unza? Yes,
I just had in mind that one day I should go back to school. I was saving. Now, when you have money, things now start changing. Okay? You start changing. So I started even admiring women, all those things. Okay? I even got married, that was in 2005, without going to school first.
Okay?
I got married to Gladys Namdara, my wife. But I had it in mind that one day I should go back to Unza. And I was even saving. So in 2007, I was called Unza. So I had to go back to Unza. That's when now I started my degree program.
Okay.
Yes, 2007.
Wow.
And I just sponsored myself for a year. Then Bursaries Committee got me at 100%.
Wow.
So I was at Unza, and just at Unza, they were giving us meal allowances and what. Just that money, I had to buy a plot in Chazanga. From that money, the same bursaries money, meal allowances and book allowances, because I was even given a room, inter-3 room 1.
Exactly.
So I started just from that money, keeping my family, and even buying a plot. So after completion at Unza, it became now easier. I even joined government. I'm now a teacher, mathematics teacher, and I have now 3 children. keeping other people, and they've been sponsoring other people. So this is how my life has been. Otherwise, if you just have a focus in life, I think you achieve what you want.
I agree with you. Trust me, I agree with you. I hope that you were able to follow through that story from at the beginning up to where Mr. Griffin is. He had to go through quite a lot just for him to be where he is today. Now, question is, what are some of the lessons that we can learn from experiences that we go through? And of course, I think on several occasions I've asked, is it true that there is always light at the end of the tunnel? I think that question, I'll ask Mr. Griffin to help us understand what we should be expecting from our problems and whether there is light at the end of every tunnel that you can take. For now, we take a break. We'll be back shortly.
But truth is that God can reverse your condition. It is time for you to call out to your friends because God's hope has given you such a catch. This is Bishop Eddie Mulenga, and by the way, they just call me the Bish. Moments of inspiration. Tell your friends, the Bish is coming on air on Moments of Inspiration, and it's only on QTV.
Meet the Bundas. The Bundas are a typical modern family, and just like you, they always need to be connected. You see, Mr. Bunda needs rock-solid internet to share files with the office. But with his home broadband, syncing can take hours, and video conference calls, forget it. Charmer just wants to download his favorite show, but he may grow old before that happens. And Gran, she just wants to get to level 20. Their home connection is useless when everyone's online. And when the weather turns bad or the power goes off, the Bundas are left disconnected. High Fibronics brings the best fiber internet to your home. Unlike outdated ADSL, which shares your old unreliable copper phone line, High Fibronics uses a dedicated high-speed fiber cable. This runs underground straight to your home, making it resistant to lightning and weather. If fiber's already available in your area, we'll connect you within days and with minimal disruption. High Fibronics is capable of speeds up to 100 megabits per second to and from your home, with room to upgrade in the future. Forget buffering, interruptions and delays. Get awesome, uninterrupted service all the time, letting you do what you want online when you want. You deserve to live like this. Go to www.highalive.co.zm or call 255 037.
Hi, my name's Samantha, and I'm a Delight mom. Let me share with you a little story. When I first started my baby on solid foods, I had such a nightmare. I tried him on different types of baby cereal, and they just would not work for my baby. Then, a friend of mine told me about Delight baby cereal, and after one spoon, he was reaching for another. I looked at Delight baby cereal closely and found that it contains the best ingredients a baby cereal could have: vitamins, iron, fiber, and is made from locally grown ingredients and contains no GMOs. Looks like my little Andrew knew what was good for him before Mommy did. And that's why I'm a Delight mom.
With ingredients that are carefully selected, Delight baby cereal is ideal for little growing bodies. Made from fresh and locally produced non-GMO ingredients, Delight baby cereal is manufactured in a world-standard factory by top food technologists and nutritionists.
I'm a proud Delight mom. Are you?
Now available in a new pack design with the same great nutrition.
Breast milk is best for your baby. Breastfeeding should continue for as long as possible.
Trade Kings, improving lives.
All right, so welcome back. Now, I know for sure that those who've been following Mr. Griffin's story, they might be asking, okay, fine, after things became normal and of course he settled, did he ever speak to his brother who refused to keep him when he was young again? Let me throw that question to Mr. Griffin as well. Did you ever speak to your brother who refused to keep you when you really, really needed to stay with somebody?
Yes, there's even one time I even went to visit him.
Okay.
Yes, I went to visit him. The problem is he was drinking too much. He was a drunkard. So whatever you could say, for him it was not making sense. I just went there, stayed, just spent a night there, then had to go back. It's unfortunate that he died, but what? And you know, all the workings that I was doing, I wanted him to come and see that there is something that this person is made up of. That's what I wanted. Now, unfortunately, he died in 2009. And his mill even went to bury him. And the family, his mill is keeping it now.
Okay, when he was dying, who did he leave behind?
He left the wife and 4 children.
The wife and 4 children?
Yes.
So you are now in custodian of that family, because that on its own is a family, a very, very huge family.
Yes, I'm the one keeping them now. They are here in Chazanga. I'm the one keeping them. You know, sometimes if you start following issues like, no, you did this, let me do this to you as well, I think that one is not a good thing. Because if I did not have Mr. Satlongo, then I was not going to do anything in life. So just because he's not even my relative anyway, this time he's in UK. I've been just communicating through Facebook, WhatsApp, just like that. But had it not been for him, I was not going to be like this. So I just said, no, I think he didn't know what he was doing. Because if he knew, he thought that he was the only one who was okay in the family, because he was the only teacher in the family. Okay? So he wanted to gain that respect from the family, that he's the only one. But I just brushed off all what he did. And now, the family is with me.
Okay. Wow, interesting. You know, the story that you've shared with us today is not a very unique story, because as we speak right now, we have a lot of people going through what you just went through. There are those who are very optimistic as you were, where you know you are out of school and you still have power to study, just hoping that one day you can go to school. We also have others who have just given it up and said, Vinasira Udala, we'll see, life is abyssal. There are others as well who do not even have hope right now. I don't know, how should be our approach whenever we have, you know, such difficulties like the ones that you went through?
You know, one thing that we should know is, since God is there, you can do anything. We should have this in mind, that if this person can do this, how about me? I can do it as well. Okay? And not trying to look at a very bigger picture to say, no, I want to achieve this. I want to maybe for me to be well, let me have this big thing. No. It is just from these small things that we can build up our lives. So even those who have lost hope that there is no hope, there is nothing that they can do, I still encourage them that there is no tree that has never been shaken by wind. You can be shaken, but you should know how to stand. Okay? So if you have just objectives, if you have goals that, okay, no, me, I want to do this in life, regardless of all the bad things that you can pass through, regardless of all difficulties, there will be one door that will be open. And you have to answer to that door. You'll be able to do something. And let's not think of maybe starting from a very bigger picture, very big thing, that no, this is, if I can have this, that's when I can do things. No. Let's start from those small things. It is from those small things that will build our life on. So everyone can do something. Yes.
You should write a book about your story. I'd love to read it.
Okay.
As you are sharing your story, I was thinking I'm reading a book.
Okay.
Exactly. I think we are tired of, you know, reading fictitious, you know, novels. I think I want a real life story. If if I was, a script writer, I write scripts about movies and stuff. I think I could love to write a story, and of course, do a movie about that. I think it could be an amazing movie. And I'm glad that you are a very, very strong man, because I'm thinking, wow, the moment when your brother sent you out of his house, that could have been the end of your dream of going to school. Because I've met a number of, young kids whose dreams has been shattered because parents cannot sponsor them, whose dreams has been shattered because they are orphans and the family of their late parents could not take them in, and like in your situation. And the other issue that I've loved so much about you as well is the fact that you did not choose really, because life did not give you a choice to choose. So you also did not choose the type of job that you are going to start with. You started as, you started with just gardening. Yes. It's different with modern people. Modern people would always want to get a fancy type of a job and stuff like that. I don't know. Anyways, before I let go of you, so far now, how would you describe your, everything that you went through? Was it work of fate, destiny, or
see, some of those things, anyway, I think that one, but I know anyway, because I'm still looking at doing something. Because I've passed through all those things. For me, I'm calling them that they were there to teach me something. Okay? Because if I just maybe had all things from my parents, all things from these sponsors, maybe I would have not known some of the ways of handling some people. That one I would not have learned. So I've learned it, and if you are doing something with mind that I want to have this in mind, I want to have this, all these other obstacles, you will see them just falling themselves. Okay, you see them just falling themselves, because I've seen, if I just try something, I'm seeing it is working. Okay, it's working. I've managed, I've tried this, I'm seeing that they are working. So they are there to, I think I passed through all those so that I could learn something. And the lesson that I learned from there is, let's not underrate someone. Don't underrate anyone. You can be a street kid. Like I have friends now, they are still there, they are street kids. I have some, like there is one at downtown there, as we are going to Kafue, there are those robots there. We were together at school. He has very good results, but he's still, unfortunately, he's a blind man anyway. He's still in the streets. But I know one day he will do something. Because I've been meeting him, I've talked to him several times, and I've tried to help him in one way or another. So every situation that we pass through, let's learn something from that. We'll be able to achieve what we want.
Amazing. Well, Mr. Griffin, thank you so very much for sharing your story with us. It's not always that people would love to share the stories of their past, but I'm so glad that you have got that courage to share that story. I can assure you, you have thousands of people who've just gotten inspired by your story.
No, thanks very much. Maybe before I even go, you were saying writing a book. Unfortunately, I'm writing mathematics book. Because I'm a mathematician.
You ask you making life of pupils difficult with mathematics.
No, I think working together we can do it. I was even thinking of looking for a forum where I can start presenting mathematics.
Definitely.
For me, with mathematics, that's my area.
Wow, great. I'm so glad to know, because by the end of the day, mathematics has always been, a subject that everybody has been complaining about. And I feel like the more mathematics teachers we have, the better society would be. We're not even going to have, this jittery feeling whenever you see mathematics. You're like, Ooh, you know.
No. I think there's no such now.
Uh-huh. Well, thank you so much for coming through today.
No, thanks very much.
Appreciate it.
So, yes.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, such stories deserve to be written down so that we could keep on reading about them with the hope of getting that inspiration that we always want. So if you've been going through a lot, if you've been going through a number of challenges, such people are there to inspire you and also motivate you, to share with you through experience and to help you understand that there will always be light at the end of the tunnel. In fact, somebody told me to say, well, it gets darker when we are about to hit dawn. So you need to have at least a little bit of some faith when it comes to such things. We go for another break. When we come back, I'll be talking to another special guest as well. Stay tuned.
Need some excitement in your life? Some new feeling? The base has education, inspiration, and everything else that you need.
This is a show that is tailored for the youth to equip them for the world that they want to take on. Saturdays at 15 hours.
The show repeats at 9 hours on Mondays and 18 hours on Thursdays.
Only on QTV.
Hi, my name is Alina Lee, World Skills Zambia's best chef in the country, and I am bringing my brand new show, Cooking with Alina Lee, exclusive to QTV. And since we're getting close to the festive season, it's almost Christmas time and we all have that warm feeling inside. Food has the ability and the power to bring people, loved ones, and families close together. So if you're looking for a way to make up with a loved one that you might have argued with at this time of the year, look out for a really great recipe of mine that will just warm their heart up.
Cooking with Alina Lee. Saturdays at 9 hours. Only on QTV.
Welcome back. My next guest is Mr. Wilfred Chisanga, who just recently came back from South Africa. He's been moving quite a lot recently, and I'm so glad that I could definitely manage to get hold of him before he officially leaves the country. I hear possibly by the end of this week he might be traveling back to South Africa, obviously. I'm so glad to have you again. Thank you so much for coming. How is life in South Africa?
Life there is good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good, and I love it. I think I've gotten used to it.
Okay.
That's why I see a lot of differences when I come here.
You've been doing a lot of training, trying to shape, the mindsets of different people, and trying to work with the youth generation, and trying to help them develop, entrepreneurial skills and stuff like that. How has 2017 been for you?
2017 has been good. I can't really complain, though I've learned it on the other side,
Okay.
not on the side we wanted.
Mhm.
The time we were planning, for our goals this year and the things we wanted to implement. It has given us the other side of indication, and for me that's has been a big achievement. You see, most of the times people want to hear the good side of everything we do, the success and everything, but I'll tell you that I've learned more on the negative aspect because I've traveled from Livingstone up to Mansa. Being in Mansa, it was the first time being that side.
Okay.
So I've learned a lot. You find that in Mansa, I can speak more about Mansa. It was so amazing that we've got all these products, which people think like it's not money. You see, I was interviewing people and they were like, we only need money so that we can take our children to school. But he had bags of cassava, in his backyard. You see, and that, started amazing me. Was like, if somebody has got these, which means he has got money.
Mhm.
But there is a need of just a little bit of exposure. Let's stop thinking that money is just the money we are holding in our hands or we have in the bank account. Like Zambia has got a lot of resources. A lot of investors have been coming to Zambia. it's a good motivation and a good indication that there's more we can do as youths, you see. And I'm glad to say that right now we've got a group on the ground. We've got Mr. Chris in Luansha, who is helping us to mobilize youths who are going to train in South Africa. We've got Mrs. Mwamba Mlenga in Kitwe, who's mobilizing youths who are going to train in South Africa. Here in Lusaka, we've got Sharon. Actually, Sharon, she's an amazing lady.
Okay.
When we met, the first time we met, we talked about a few things. Then she told me that when you come back from Copperbelt, let's meet. We met the time I came from Copperbelt. She introduced me to another lady who is Angel. Actually, Angel is our incoming CEO of Zambia, because we've got South Africa, Botswana, Zambia, and US. So we're trying to divide things.
Okay.
So when we met with Sharon, we're talking about doing charity works. You see, that has been my ultimate goal. Whatever we do, if we can help people who don't have means, to be a cardinal thing to us. And she introduced us to this orphanage. We went and we did great work, and I was really, thrilled to be part of that.
How do you look at the potential that a Zambian youth has in terms of just achieving great things? Because I believe, Zambian youths have dreams, brilliant plans. Some have even put them down on paper in form of business plans and all that. How do you look at their potential?
To be honest with you, I'll put it this way. The Zambian people, they've got great potential to make Zambia as an economic capital for the SADC region. The only problem we have is that we don't want to implement our ideas. We want somebody to do that on our behalf. Even if the little things we are doing as Zambians, we are not really putting in our efforts. If only we can all get like soldiers the way they, when they go to fight, they are all there fighting. No one is watching which one is a great soldier. If youths of Zambia, we can have that mentality, believe me, the next 5 years we'll stop talking about these other issues we're complaining about, like lack of employment. There is a lot we are supposed to do as Zambians, because each and every Zambian I've spoken to has got an idea, but they are waiting for somebody to fund them. I'll tell you the saddest thing, when we were getting an endorsement from the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Child Development. I saw an article that which says 40 million has never been paid back, which was imparted to the youths. You see, the biggest problem youths are making is waiting for somebody to fund them. When somebody funds you, there's a great possibility that you won't implement the project you want to with that money you have borrowed, you have gotten on a loan. But if you work hard, little money you're making and you're saving, it will be much easier for you to know that if I lose this money, I won't have another amount of money to run my projects.
Maybe you can help us understand how a South African youth thinks as compared to how a Zambian youth thinks. Maybe by then, a youth out there who is watching will be able to understand why you're saying when you borrow money, it's very difficult for you to implement something that you have planned with borrowed money, because you have just gotten that money. But when you have your own money that you found through your sweat and blood, you'll be able to say, okay, I'm not supposed to misuse this money. I'm not supposed, because I agree with what you said. Look at the first thing that we do when we receive money. Even just when somebody just gets paid. When you get paid today, the first place you're going to visit is either you're going to visit a bar to go and just take even just 2 bottles, or the first thing that you do is that you're going to get into these shopping malls just to go and buy something to eat or something. Okay, so the first thing that we always do with the money that we get are things that we may classify as wants. But the real needs, they always come later on. After now you are satisfied, you have satisfied your ego and stuff. That's when you sit back and say, oh, in fact, I was supposed to start that business. I was supposed to be getting eggs from there, supplying here. But by the time you look at the money that you have, you find that maybe the money has even depleted. Now, help us understand how a South African youth thinks. Maybe from there we'll be able to learn something.
Okay, you see, South Africans what I love about South Africans, they protect what's theirs. You see, here in our country, Zambia, we are not really protective with our own resources. That's what I can say. We have come up. Our program has changed a bit. From just the local trainings, we are now doing exchanging programs. This is an entrepreneurship training exchanging programs. Reason being, we want Zambians to be exposed more and to learn more from South Africans. You see, not even just South Africans, the global entrepreneurs who come there for our conference meetings. We want them to learn from them so that they can see that it's beyond Lusaka. There's more beyond Lusaka. I'll give an example. These entrepreneurs we have here in Zambia, who travels a lot, they learn something from outside, they implement it here, and we feel like they are more blessed than us, which is not true. As an African,
so it's not an issue of being, being, should I say, more privileged, less privileged?
No, I don't agree with that. It only starts with the desire to do something, the desire to accomplish something. That's what I've come to believe. Look at me. I've traveled in different countries, in different cities, not because I wanted to, not because I had, a upper hand to help me. No. I had a desire to move from one point to another point. Like I gave you an example. This same trip, I managed to go to Mansa. I never knew anybody there, but I went there and I found more products. And I said I can set up a plant here in Mansa, you see. So it's not about somebody having a upper hand and somebody a lower hand, or somebody having, greater opportunities than the other person. We create opportunities as ourselves. If only the Zambian youths can start branding Zambia the way it is, not the way we think, will change everything. America has been branded so badly whereby everybody thinks like, if I go to America, I'll make it. That's not true. I mean, I've got friends, my best friend is in America, and I've got more friends, including my lady in America. I know how America is. It's not America which we read in the newspaper. They have just branded it so badly whereby everybody thinks in America you make it easy. But look at this. Zambia, we've got freedom in everything we do. I mean, somebody can post anything he wants on social media. Somebody can walk even at night in the streets. But in other countries, you can't do that. Now, what is it that you do when you wake up and the time you go to sleep? That's what matters most. Because success, or to progress in life, or to achieve anything in life, is a daily commitment, a daily work which you do. That's what amounts to, establishing something.
Okay, well said there. Okay, so success is usually, I'm thinking success is measured by 24 hours, by what you do with the 24 hours that you have. That's what somebody told me. Somebody told me to say, well, Nelson, look, you and Bill Gates, you all have 24 hours.
Exactly.
Now, what is the difference between your 24 hours and Bill Gates' 24 hours? In fact, you, Nelson, you sleep more than the way Bill Gates sleep. So that difference is what creates the difference between how successful you are and how successful Bill Gates is. The way you use that 24 hours really does matter. Let's pay some bills. When we come back, we'll also look at how can we shape our way of thinking, how can we get our dreams moving, how can we also add to whatsoever we have today. For those who are already in the system, for those who are already doing something, how can you make sure that it progresses and it moves at a very faster pace? Those who still have their plans on paper, how do you get your plans underway? Those who haven't even designed anything, how do you begin designing? Stay tuned.
I'm Showstar the DJ. I have a fire show on QTV. It's called High Five, but of course you already know.
Yes, I used to, because when painting and blending, I have to touch. Yeah, she was really, really naked, like 100% nude.
Songs, yeah, that's busy. My songs are what Tony Kukumbi, and I know.
Exactly, that's exactly what I was trying to show you.
Techno will come here, he will have a stadium packed.
People did not like my video. That's why it went viral.
Oh man, now it's being disrespectful. That's the fair point.
Showstar with Shamakitupa interview. You scheme if you like.
Oriental Quarries Boxing Promotion in conjunction with Zamtel presents The African Boxing Union Flyweight Championship between the champion Alfred Muwowo, Zambia, and the challenger Dalisizwe Komani from South Africa. Men supporting bouts for the WBC Elimination Waterweight bout. The WBC International Champion from Oriental Quarry, Zambia, Lolita Muzea versus Ruthie Chisale from Malawi. Also featuring is Catherine Piri and Giles Manucci. Other supporting bouts, Mia Kanku, Oriental Quarry, Zambia versus Ali Kabeya from Exodus. Remy Simbeye, Oriental Quarry, Zambia versus Philip Msariri, Zimbabwe. Gracious Simwalizi, Oriental Quarry, Zambia versus Karisto Bwalia from the Copper Belt. Charges, 100 kwacha VIP and 50 kwacha all round. Venue, Government Complex. Time, 14 hours. Date, 30th December 2017, managed by Oriental Quarries Boxing Promotions. Advert sponsored by Top Star.
Wow, it stopped raining.
Children find any opportunity to get into some messy games. But not all games are friendly to your whites and brights.
Mulenga, how can you guys start playing without us?
Thankfully, with its fast-acting dirt-removing power, Bullet Powder is specially formulated for quick dirt removal. So don't let your inner child miss out on the fun. Bullet Powder has that one-shot cleaning power that penetrates fabric, removing the toughest of stains. With Bullet, you'll be done with your laundry in no time. Bullet Washing Powder, 0 dirt in 1 shot.
Trade Kings, improving lives.
Oh, hello there. My name is Carol Mushota. I'm a transformational speaker, writer, blogger, and movable optimist, and I'm here to help you become the best version of yourself in your personal life as well as your business.
New and exclusive to QTV every Sundays after the 7 p.m. main news. QTV, experience home.
All right, so welcome back. Now let's look at the last part. Now, Wilfred, South Africans are very good at protecting theirs. South Africans are very good at portraying a very good image as to how South Africa is, just as Americans are. How do we begin painting a brighter picture of how this country is? How do we begin protecting our own? How do we begin creating opportunities out of what we have?
Okay, the starting point, it's as people are sitting now, those who love making resolutions every year, which I don't do because I've got my own goals to reach. They have to state what's really important, and going on social media talking about politics. Let the politicians do what they're supposed to do. That's the first thing. Can we leave politics to politicians? Let us not get involved, even if I talk about these politicians, then I'll get a job tomorrow. No, you and I, we've got the time when we are going to rule this country. Either we are in politics or not in politics. So the most important thing we have to look at as Zambians right now is to start marketing what we have. Firstly, branding ourselves. Who am I? Who is Wilfred? Who is Wilfred in the next 5 years? Who is Wilfred by the end of 2018? That's our target. If we establish those things, each one of us as youths in Zambia, believe me, Zambia will start taking shape by the end of next year. The other year it will be, just walking over. The other year, things will be much better. Like I mentioned about Jacob. Jacob Mwanza, he brings, he's a tour guide for foreigners. He had about 30-something South Africans who came. He was taking them around. And according to the report I've gotten, South Africans, they really enjoyed, the atmosphere of Zambia, you see. So, this is the thing we're going to do. More South Africans will be coming, more Botswana people will be coming, more foreigners will bring them because we have been endorsed by the youths or by the Ministry of Youths. Secondly, if Zambians really want to make Zambia a great nation, which is a great nation, let's support one another. We are so selfish with our ideas. We are so selfish with our dreams. That's why we don't really, grow as entrepreneurs. Your dream, you don't want to share with me because you are scared that I might implement because he's in South Africa. Yeah, I might implement that, but I'll tell you something. As a chairman for a marketing agents company, we don't steal ideas. We don't run with people's ideas. We run with visionaries. This is the reason why we are incorporating a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs into our programs, so that we work with them to expand those visions, those ideas, those dreams. You know, the problem is most of the Zambians, they would sit in their house complaining instead of going out looking for something. The more you sleep, the more you become poor. Remember, it's not me said, but these are the words from the billionaires. The more you sleep, the more you become poor. I'm sleeping 4 hours every night, ever since I came to Zambia. In South Africa, I sleep 3 hours because time is money. So, looking at the resources we have in Zambia, the tourist attraction we have in Zambia, actually, we are supposed to have a meeting with the permanent secretary for Zambia Tourism Board, for Ministry of Tourism. Reason being, they are putting up a site for a memorial site for David Livingstone. I'm interested in that. You know, I want to have something to talk about whenever I'm outside. I want to have, that zeal of marketing Zambia, which we're already doing. The problem comes in, I market Zambia, they are here marketing Zambia, talking about, the things which are supposed to be contained within the country. Let's take the pride of being Zambians. Let's take pride of making Zambia a suitable landlocked country for all neighboring countries to start benefiting from Zambia. I'm glad to see, the development through infrastructure, which is coming up. I feel sometimes like I'm still in South Africa when I walk up to Manda Hill. Shopping malls are coming up, which is a good side. And I wish the government can do more on the roads, which would be good as well, especially, the main roads. I'm glad to see, toll gates, because it reminds me in South Africa that I need to pay bills whenever I'm going to another city. That's a good indication.
I can add, one thing I need to remind you, Wilfred, is that, this target thing, Zambia is up to date. I haven't yet grasped the meaning of a target.
I know.
Exactly. They don't even understand why they pay per target. Yesterday I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine, and they was telling me the same, to say, these targets, one, they're just causing too much traffic. Two, you go, you pay. Coming, you pay, stuff like that. So as much as you appreciate them, because you spent so many years moving from one country to another, where these targets are an essential aspect of government policies and plans, here in Zambia, we are still debating whether targets are okay or not.
You see, yesterday I was at UNZA. I'll tell you one thing. The education of nowadays is totally different to the education which we acquired some time back. This time around, you find that somebody is just there by UNZA, trying to do assignments for for a student. Come on, if you do an assignment for me, what guarantee do you have that I'm going to study and understand that? Most of the students, they are going to school to acquire the paper, not the knowledge. You see, this is the reason why we've got a lot of people complaining about Zambia. No, this is wrong, this is wrong. Come on, let's look at, let's say, the soldiers, the nurses, or the civil servants. Where is their strong source of income? Talk about the same developmental projects which is going on in the country. Where does the money come from? It's you and I to contribute a little bit so that the development of the country goes further. You see, we can borrow the monies, yeah, which is good, because as a country we need to survive and we need to grow certain projects beyond what we can do within our own money. But the problem comes in, is that money being used right? Maybe that's why people are complaining. You see, but the whole system, for me, I don't have a problem. It's quite good.
How does the Zambian youth start becoming more innovative, more pragmatic, more of a youth from other developed countries?
I think the most important thing which I've seen in Zambia, lack of exposure. Lack of exposure has really killed us. That's why we complain about everything. In Zambia, if you don't have 3 meals, it's a problem. Most of them.
Yes, it's a problem.
Come on. In South Africa, I normally have 1 meal. The other time, I'll just be having snacks.
Well, Wilfred, when we were chatting on the background, I think I reminded you how we Zambians measure the hard work of someone. if at all I'm working, 6 to 6, and I cannot provide 3 meals for my family, then I don't think if I'm working hard. Zambians still measure hard working in terms of eating well. So, for example, this is the festive season. You expect Zambians at least to have something to share with their family. So if I don't have anything to share with my family during this period, then my hard working has been in vain. That is how we perceive hard working, at least for a good number of people.
You see, I'll tell you one thing. It's high time we start understanding, a job and working. They are two different things. Mr. Nelson, you are here with me. You are working. This is work. This is not a job. A job, it's where you do more physical. You become more physical. And most of the Zambians, they have mistaken a job to working, you see. If people can start implementing more of work, they'll see that, all these leisures we love most, they're not really important. What's important is, what am I going to do tomorrow? Not now. Yeah, festive season. A lot of people are looking forward, to spend, not really to make money. There are few who are doing that. But if I make, let's say, 100 kwacha, the most important thing is, that's the only money I have. Not the money I'm going to have tomorrow. You see. But us Zambians, we want to spend everything we have, that I'll make money tomorrow, or that one will pay me tomorrow.
Somebody told me that that's the reason why we work.
No. Listen, work. Let me tell you something. For me to become independent and to start, our company, it's because I calculated how much I was working for a day, for an hour, before getting a salary. That started paying me. And I looked at it that I can make more money when I'm on my own independently than working for somebody. You see, the thing is, Zambians, we love expenditure and showing off. All right? Most of the people who have got money, they live in farms. How many people are staying here with money within the cities? Very few. Most of us young people, we want to show off. I'm driving, X6 because I've made it. That becomes also a source of, expenditure, because I have to maintain that. I have to buy fuel. I have to make sure that it's in good condition. You see. Then look at the dress code. Unless, you put up those classic clothes, then you're considered like you've made it in life. Believe me, people who even have money, they don't even, love that kind of luxurious life. Yesterday I had a meeting with Prophet Yusuf Dodia. I love the way he comes out, the way he carries himself. This is a person who understands about the income and the expenditure. You see, he knows that even if I do this, what am I getting out of it? We really need to start balancing up our expenditure and our income, which is a very big issue here in Zambia, you see. And, talking about that, we have had a few meetings with our incoming group, the one I mentioned about, Sharon Angel and Jacob, Mr. Chris in Luansha, Mrs. Mlenga in Kitwe, and also these people from Mansa. We are putting up more trainings here, and also we'll put up, a summit. We are bringing in those people who train me in South Africa, those people who are good, to come and talk to our fellow youths here in Zambia. You see, yesterday we were trying to plan up a few things with Mr. Macpherson Mutale concerning the same thing of hosting up our entrepreneurship summit. We've got people from Kenya and also Uganda who are willing to come. Also Francois, who is my coach in South Africa, is willing to come. That's later on next year. Yusuf Dodia welcomed the same idea of having this summit in Zambia because it will bring a lot of change. He also talked about the forex exchange, which will be an addition to the government, not just to me, you see, not just to you as a TV presenter, not just to the people who will be working with him, you see. The most important thing we have to do as Zambians is to start looking at what is it that I'm going to accomplish by the end of tomorrow, by the end of this week, by the end of the month. Let's forget about this, luxurious life we love always, looking nice. Let me have, let's say, 7 pairs of clothes. That's enough for me. As long as the other money is being put in good use. And to make more of the money I'm putting in now. That will work out for Zambia.
Well, I always love talking to you, you know that. And of course, looking forward to having more talks with you. And maybe under 30 seconds. 2018 is just around the corner. Today is the 10th of December. We only have barely 2 weeks before we get to 2018. How do you perceive 2018? How do you look at 2018?
Well, like I said when I started, this interview, that the good part is that most of the things we plan to implement this year, we haven't implemented them. Reason being, we have learned life on the other side. What we have come to realize is that a poor person will always be poor, not until we decide to change. I can give him money, I'll give him product, I'll give him all the things he needs, but at the end of it all, he will come and ask for money, all right? Because the mentality is poor. So what we have done in 2018 going onwards, one, we are enforcing the exchanging programs, whereby we take Zambians to other countries, those who will be willing, to come. Let them come and learn something from Botswana, Namibia, Kenya, Uganda, Nigeria, also South Africa. So the first trip we are making is going to South Africa, because South Africa, we have seen more of their shops here in Zambia. So let the Zambian people start seeing where these things are coming from. Let them be exposed to a country which is more developed than us. Let them see how danger is when a gunshot is fired, at 12 hours and you're in town, you see, which we don't hear every day in Zambia. We want to remove fear out of them. Then we are looking at, hosting also Entrepreneurship Summit, the one I mentioned about. That's next year, going to be here in Zambia. We're still communicating with people from outside so that, we can implement something on the global standard. Also, we are looking at hosting another big event. That's at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium, because we have decided to involve more people from outside than the people from inside. The problem we have with Zambians, they love talking, and they will let you until they see things start moving, then they jump in. But we're not interested in that. Why should you jump in when things have started working out, instead of being there laying a foundation? You see, so whoever is interested, this is the time to get hold of us. Whoever is interested, let them come forth. Then we're going to work with them. The government is having our back. Stand big. We've got Perisiane. I mean, we've got everything we need now. Okay. So we don't have a problem with doing the works. We only have a problem with people who are willing to work and to sacrifice, to invest in themselves.
Okay. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, wow, it seems like 2018 will definitely start on a very, very good note. I hate really talking about resolutions, but I hope that you've done your homework as well. In case you have had a few that you didn't really manage to meet for this year, make sure that 2018 should be a year for you as well to have a very different name tag on yourself. We take our very last break. When we come back, I'll be talking to Jacob Mwanza.
Hey guys, and welcome to Q Club.
Knowing that this is the festive season, you know what time it is. It's time to give, receive, and also share. It's Christmas time, it's time to reflect. And do not forget that Jesus is the reason for the season.
Need some excitement in your life? Some new feeling? The base has education, inspiration, and everything else that you need.
This is a show that is tailored for the youth to equip them for the world that they want to take on. Saturdays at 15 hours.
The show repeats at 9 hours on Mondays and 18 hours on Thursdays.
Only on QTV.
Need some excitement in your life? Some new feeling? The base has education, inspiration, and everything else that you need.
This is a show that is tailored for the youth to equip them for the world that they want to take on. Saturdays at 15 hours.
The show repeats at 9 hours on Mondays and 18 hours on Thursdays.
Only on QTV.
All right, so now let us close the show today in this way. Let me talk to Jacob. Jacob, how are you doing?
I'm very much fine. Viewers, hoping you're all fine.
Yeah, they're all fine. I think they must be laughing at you. They say, oh, look at him, he's waving on us, he's waving at us and stuff. I'm so glad to have you. Great. So as we wrap it up, the year is coming almost to an end. How would you describe your year as a Zambian youth?
Tell the truth, it'll be hard to describe it without the words that goes on that. Planning, you start planning your year. Tell the truth.
How would you describe 2017 for you?
My 2017, tell the truth, has been very much well. In a way that I've done most of.
Are you a man who also sets up resolutions? You don't do resolutions and stuff like that. Okay, great. Just any word of advice to your fellow youths as we get to a festive season? I know a lot of people will be looking at drinking and stuff like that. Any word of advice to them?
Any word of advice to the youth out there is to always be ready. Like I was caught on an interview here without being ready. So my advice is always be ready, and you should always be ready.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I thought we could wrap it up on that note as well. So today is obviously 13th, and the clock is ticking. That's one thing that I can assure you. And should I do some counting? How many days do we have before we get into 2018? I want to get it exactly correct. I think we have about 16 more days to go before obviously 2018 comes up. So 2018 comes up with a lot of stories, a lot of a lot of plans, a lot of school, a lot of job opportunities, a lot of business opportunities, a lot of stories to share, a whole lot of everything. And something interesting about when you're starting up a year is that you all start at the same level. Okay, do you remember on your marks, get set, go? That's how exactly 2018 starts. So we all start on the same line, and it depends on how fast you run, how you plan, and of course how you put everything into perspective. For those who still put up resolutions, well, all the best in terms of your planning for next year. Those who do not, like Wilfred, all the best as well as you're looking forward to meeting your goals along the way. Thank you so much. Tomorrow I'll be talking to more interesting guests as well, from both from within and of course those who are coming outside the country, so that at least we could be able to learn from different people just how they handle themselves, so that by the end of the day we all move together. Remember, like I always say when I'm wrapping up this show, together we can. We just need to believe in ourselves. Thanks a lot to my producer of the day, my director as well, Alice. Great job done. To all the guests who came through, Mr. Wilfred, and of course not forgetting Mr. Griffin as well, who came through with an amazing story. The repeat of this is coming up on Sunday at exactly 15. So until then, it's bye-bye and